Welcome to the Swirl Suite, everybody. Happy Wine Wednesday. It's just me today, and I'm here with a very special guest, Janelle Rucker. How are you today?
Very excited to be here.
Thank you for coming on the show and hanging with me today.
Of course. I can't turn down an invitation for Swirl Suite. Anyone else, like I'm nervous. Like those IG lives for me, like they induce all my anxiety.
I was going to ask you to do one with me too, eventually.
So I've been trying to do them more to get comfortable because I think that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But man.
Yeah, the only reason why I am doing them is because I'm working with a social media strategist for the first time. And because I got some stuff coming out later this summer. And she was like, well, you need to get these folks ready. And I got some suggestions. And you need to get on Instagram Live once a week. And I was like, seriously? And she was like, yeah, just do it. I was like, well, one, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what you say, but I'm not going on there by myself because I'm a terrible talking head. I like, how some people can get on IG Live and they can just talk and it's so invigorating and you're just watching and listening. I'm not that person.
No, and to be honest, and this is not, shade for people who do get on there by themselves. For me, the more engaging ones are when there's at least a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
I get you. There's no way that I would get on IG Live by myself. I'd rather just type that shit up in a post and post it and go about my business.
Right.
There's no way I could get on an IG Live and like do that thing by myself.
Yeah. And she just told me this week that you can do 4 people now.
Yep.
And I did not know that. I was like, oh, okay. Now that's my lane. If I can gather groups and talk to other people, okay. I feel a lot better about that.
Y'all not going to be popping over to Clubhouse and think that we don't have an option for you to like have these little, conversations where you can have more than one person on the stage.
Sure.
Here you go. Host your little Clubhouse combos here.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned Clubhouse. I don't have an iPhone, so I'm not able to, participate. Is there something that Android people are missing? I mean, are we really missing stuff?
So I will say this. I got on it pretty early on, like it was sometime last year, and it was very overwhelming. Not even as many like groups and conversations as there are now. But what I have found on there in the wine industry, it is phenomenal for networking and participating or just listening into really awesome conversations. I think during Black History Month, a group of the guys did like a chat about Black men and wine on there. That was great because I think there was like a group of them and then other people that joined, they were able to call them up on stage or whatever and like participate in there. I know a lot of like folks in the wine industry that host conversations on there that they're great. Even if you're just listening into it, I've learned so much.
So we are missing something is what you're saying.
You're missing. And I get it. I've heard people's complaints about Clubhouse, like all this other stuff. And sometimes it can still be overwhelming when there are too many people. Because the way that it'll basically work is like there's a stage where like the host can like call people up. And those are the people that can unmute and talk. And then there's a group of people who are just like listening in and don't like have that. They can raise their hand or like do whatever. And so when there are too many people on the stage, it can get to be a lot and confusing. But I found the best ones are when there's like a panel of maybe like 6 people, then everybody else is at the bottom. And then like at the end, they'll open it up for questions and they'll pull people up one at a time. It's good. Okay. I wonder if the Android version is coming.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they wanted that exclusively for iPhone users to get us to switch over. So, but that's not happening.
I wouldn't doubt it. And just the initial people that were on it were celebrities and influencers and people who are already Apple people anyway. And so,
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, no, it's fine. I would buy a used phone before I would switch over to, is that my mic? Can you hear it's like a breaking up? Maybe it's just me. Um, no, I would buy a used phone with like no actual service and just Wi-Fi before I would switch over to an iPhone. That's a whole conversation.
Like that. Yeah.
And what's so bad is my friends thought that I was going to switch over when I got a Mac. And they were like, oh, well, you're going to get an iPhone sooner or later. I was like, y'all, I've had this computer for like 7 years now. No, I'm not switching over.
So is there no way, and I really don't know, but I'm curious if there's a way that you can get the app on your MacBook. There's not?
I looked. The last time I looked, no, there was no way. So
okay.
But yeah, if it's on a computer, that'd be cute. Yeah, I can do it, from a Mac, but no.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, and we might get into this later, I think just in general, the level of conversations and how creative people have had to get during this pandemic, I think you can also find very good conversations in IG Live. I don't know if people are doing like the Facebook thing or whatever. I'm not on Facebook really.
Oh, Facebook Live? Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really been on those, but I think that you can get in on good conversations even outside of Clubhouse.
Sure. I know this is like curtailed in like this social media conversation, but people say stay on Facebook, especially if you have a business, because it's better for groups to converse of all ages. So I was like, all right, I'll keep it. I'm not managing no groups on there. I can't add anything else.
No, I really do not enjoy Facebook. And so much that I'm being stubborn. What you said is exactly right. And I have my Facebook pages because if you want to do ads or anything on Instagram, you have to have a Facebook account. So I have it for that. And every once in a while I'll do it so that my Instagram post will post to Facebook. But there's something about Facebook for me that a while ago, probably like 2 or 3 years ago, that I was like, I'm done with this.
Yeah. Well, Facebook, my mom and my aunts and my family, that's like it's just different. It's a different audience. So
it is. Yeah. The kids have moved on.
They've been gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
I remember I asked my niece, I think she's 19, but I asked her a long time ago. I was like, are you on Facebook? And she said this years ago. She was like, oh, that's for old people. I was like, well, thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not into it. They done moved on. They done been through 5 other social media platforms, picked them up and dropped them down between when they left Facebook.
Yeah, no, for sure. So let's back up. Please introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Yes. So I am I just had to write some new little bio for something. I am the wine enthusiast behind Burger and Wines. So I do most of my stuff, which is a lot of wine pairings, really trying to make wine pairings and wine exploration a little more enjoyable and easy and commonplace. Most of the activity is on Instagram. And I recently got my WSET level 2 certification, which was an interesting experience.
Wait, you got that during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Really?
I took the class in January and February. I took the test in February.
So it was all virtual?
Yeah.
How was that?
You know what? It honestly wasn't that bad. Shout out to Capital Wine School here in DC. I actually won their scholarship last year. So that's what helped me take the class. Let me tell you something. Those classes it was once a week for 5 or 6 weeks, and the classes were 3 hours long.
3 hours? Wait, I'm complaining, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no. It makes sense. And so I'm what you're getting at too. I was like, I wonder how this would have been different in person.
Yeah.
Because after like an hour, like I was starting to like wander every week. My brain was like going somewhere else. And then she'd be like, okay, we're gonna taste this next one. Cause they provide all the wines that we went to pick up to do tasting. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So we
that's
have
different
all of
because you wouldn't get that in person.
Oh, really?
Well, I took mine some moons ago, but nah, we
Oh,
didn't
okay.
we didn't really drink wine. Yeah, it was all
Yeah,
about the education. Yeah.
we had like 3 or 4 wines that we tasted every week that went along with whatever we were talking about that week. And so like I'd kind of be listening. I'm trying to like take notes of the book as we go through, but my mind would start to wander. And then she's like, all right, so now we just talked about, Zinfandel. Let's crack it open. I'm like, oh, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm like, let's go. But yeah, and I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do level 3, but that is absolutely something that I think I need to do in person. So I need to wait until the world opens back up and in person is an option again.
Sure.
To do that piece. But yeah, I'm really in a place of flux right now of figuring out what I want burger and wines to be. I think I'm getting there and I feel better about it. Burger and wines really started as just, what wine can I eat with this fast food? And I think it's been like 5 or 6 years of being committed and then ghosting and then coming back and being committed. I've probably been solidly in it for the past like year and a half this past time. And I want to transition away from that because I enjoy doing that and that's what I do and that's regular life. So I'll continue to share it. But I'm really moving into more of the storytelling piece of the wine industry, which is really where my interest lies and my skill set because my background is journalism. So if you're on my Instagram page and it looks a little all over the place, that's why, because I'm really in a place of like experimenting right now and trying different things and like, really looking around to see where the gaps are in covering the wine industry and helping people enjoy wine and like molding how I'll like fill those gaps. So I guess my real bio is like TBD. Probably in like 3 months, I will have settled on a more firm, like this is what this is. But in the meantime, I'm drinking and I'm eating and I'm still learning about wine.
Gotcha. Got you. Was your what was the inspiration behind the Black Wine Story Month for what that was February, right?
Yep. Yeah. So again, so I did the whole, first of the year thing, like sit down and do plans and like envision like what. And so I was like, no, this is the year that I'm going to get into the storytelling thing and put my energy into that. And so over the past few years, it's been amazing to me to meet. I had no clue there were so many Black people in wine. And so like I met you, like I met Trevon, like all the Black wine lovers group when we went to like City Winery, Desiree, just all these people offline and online. And I'm just like, I feel like people don't know about this. I feel like we do as we learn about it, but I feel like not enough people know about it. And I really wanted to show people's origin stories, like how we got into it. Cause I think that interests a lot of people. The first wine that I was out here drinking was Riesling in the club. And that was kind of only because that and Chardonnay were the only white wines that they served in the club in college. So, and so I really just wanted to highlight Blacks in the wine industry of different levels, right? So some people who had like a ton of followers and are very well established, and then also some of the folks who are up and coming are just getting started, and have them share their stories with everyone of how they got into wine. So just like we can see that every wine drinker doesn't look the same or drink the same, we also didn't get into this the same way. We're all very different.
Absolutely.
I was really thankful when I reached out to folks. Everybody was like, this is a great idea. And I was like, great. And full transparency, I wanted to ease into some campaign type thing like this, but I didn't want to have to post every day.
Well, this is a genius idea then.
Yeah, because, and I will say, I got it from, there is a woman, her name is Jamise, Spines and Vines on Instagram,
Yeah.
who for the past 2 or 3 years, she's been doing Black Girl Books to Tour.
Yes.
And I participated in that because I've got 50 other Instagram accounts. But when I participated in the first year, and I was like, this is genius. Like, it's good content, quality content. But what I also really like about it is that I wasn't doing it to build my followers. Like, I really wanted people to be able to post their own story and to have people go to these different accounts so that you're adding these accounts, like you're following them, you're doing whatever, so that really everybody benefits and we grow kind of as an online community.
Yeah.
It wasn't just on my page.
Right. And it's funny, we actually being a part of that, and I thank you for inviting me to be a part of that. We watch who the next person was each day. Because me and Tanisha, we would text every morning like, who go today? What's your day? What is your day? What you gonna do? Is it a surprise? What you about to do? Well, you gotta do something fancy, right? You live in Paris. So we were going back and forth. It was really cool.
She closed us out.
She closed us out in Paris.
And what I love about it is I had to do some last minute like reconfiguring of the schedule. And so I tried to move her up and she was like, I'm not ready. She was like, no. Okay. I was like, it's fine. And so like, I left her at the end and I'm glad because she closed it out. Like, it was awesome.
Did we explain, for those of you who don't know, can you explain, what Blind Woman Story Month was?
So it basically through the month of February, there was a schedule of Blacks in the wine industry. It was everything from winemakers, wine writers and influencers, wine content creators, and everybody had a different day. They owned a day on the tour, and that's when they posted kind of like the bottle or how they got into the wine industry. And so every day we forward people on to the next one. So it was kind of like a little tour throughout the month of February to learn about other Blacks in the wine industry.
Yeah.
I mean, the reception was awesome. I got so many notes from people like outside of our community who loved it and enjoyed hearing very specifically like those type of stories. And it wasn't a situation where, even the influencers among us where we're just like, oh, hey, here's this wine. Like, you should get this wine. It was personal stories about the first time they went to this dinner and how they felt like they belonged, or, the questions they had, or the traveling that they did. And that's what got them into wine. The stories were really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, they absolutely were. Yeah. I remember, you and I have known each other for a while now, like you think back. But you invited me to do a segment with you at a local vineyard and you told me to pick one. And so I picked Black Ankle Vineyards where I used to work. And so you and your sister met me there. And Black Ankle, it was, it was pretty empty. So we didn't get that many stares because your sister had a for real camera and she was following us around like we were actually somebody and doing something, right? So it wasn't until we went to Old Westminster where it was packed, not many people of color, if any, where we got the stares. And you could see them trying to figure out why we were there. It's just what are they doing and how are they doing this and why are they here? So that's what it feels like being in the wine industry, being Black.
It does. And it's so funny because or at least I think that one day that's not going to be a thing. I still get surprised when that happens because I'm like, wait a minute. All these people that I've like come across, like all these places that I've gone, and I know other people have too, like, y'all still haven't caught up? Like, y'all still haven't got it together? Y'all are still out here offering me the sweetest wine on your thing. Yeah. Like, it's really surprising to me how people still don't realize that like we're out here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And not just for the party either, for the craft of it, for the quality of it, I mean, it's just interesting to me when there are others who are literally just out here for the party of it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, we'll
Just
be at
because they take pretty pictures and post them on Instagram.
a winery and like I'm asking questions like I want to know what you grow here and like where else you get your grapes from, and like I'm asking those questions and you're looking at me like, why are you asking those questions? Meanwhile, there's other people over here drunk in your vines,
Right.
and nobody's looking at them crazy, and it's just like, what? Like,
yeah,
it's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me.
Oh man, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. So speaking of local wineries, you are a frequent visitor to a lot of the local wineries, Maryland and Virginia. What are some of your favorites that you like to sort of circle back to? Are you like in a wine club at any of the local ones?
So no, when I first got into wine, my first like winery up here in Northern Virginia that like I loved and went to all the time was Paradise Springs.
Oh yeah, some really good one.
Yeah, and so I belonged to their wine club for a while. I just am the type of person, I like variety. So like in a vineyards wine club, you get a variety of like the different things they're making, but I want like other people's wines. Like I want variety.
Yeah.
So I stopped that and I haven't done one for a single winery since then. But theirs was very good. I haven't been to Paradise Springs in a while, but it was definitely a favorite. Casanel is a favorite for me. And it's so crazy because I like, they make good wine. So regardless of whatever, you know, they come out with year after year, I know I can go there and get good wine. But I very specifically love their sparkling wine that they make, the White Spark. And it's just so chill and laid back there, and it's cute. And I'm big about talking about, there are wineries that I like because their wine is good, and there are wineries that I like because it's an awesome experience.
Okay. That's some truth to that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Bluemont, I think, I really like their grounds. I like that they do rent a row, where you could rent a row in the vineyard and have like a little picnic. My friends and I have done that before. And their wine is
they have a really nice view.
They have an awesome view.
Gorgeous view.
And different ways to like see it. They've got patios everywhere. And it's really nice. You made Black Ankle a favorite of mine. I don't know if it's because I was so shocked that there was good.
You were in shock.
I was in shock that there was tasty Maryland wine, because I had never experienced that before as, you know, a graduate of the Langanore Reggae and Wine Festival. So I thought all Maryland.
So sad that that's where people start their Maryland wine experience. Not that it's bad. There is just, you know, some people say it's a time and place for everything. There is a specific mood, okay, for Langanore. And if you want to taste great wine, that may not be where you want to start. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, I want to be clear that that is not where you should start. As someone who did it that way, did it that way, that was kind of my first Maryland wine, and then was very hesitant to try other Maryland wine. I also had gone to Wine in the Woods or something one year.
Sure. Yeah.
And I can't remember the other couple of ones that I tasted, but I just wasn't whatever. But then we went to Black Ankle. I mean, their wines were great. I think that I also enjoy the experience at Potomac Point.
Okay.
I also like that it's just off of 95. It's so much easier to get to going out 66 to like everything. And I haven't been in a while, but Fabioli was always a favorite of mine because they have so many different wines to try, and their tastings with little bites of food.
Yeah.
That was a really good way to experience it. Oh, and then recently in November, I went to Veritas.
Oh, yeah.
down around
Yeah.
that. Their wine was great. I hadn't been to any Charlottesville area wineries before.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was kind of my first. It was very good. I when I went, it was still, I guess, kind of nice outside. So we sat outside, and their COVID setup was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had the little things like boxed off Veritas, and then they had like fire pits, like
Oh,
all that
cute.
stuff. And they also had kind of a nice little view off of that back part. Um, and so yeah, I did enjoy that. But I need to check out Green Hill and Early Mountain. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Early
Um,
Mountain is just so far. Like for a day trip, it's like 2 hours.
oh, okay.
So it's, if you feel like driving the distance, it's nice if you like go and come back. But I would much rather like stay the night
That's
somewhere.
what it sounds like an excuse to like
Yeah.
find some Airbnb or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
you have
my
like a
boyfriend
favorite?
lives in Philadelphia. And
Right.
so I've started kind of checking out some of the local wineries in that kind of Delaware, Jersey,
Sure.
Pennsylvania area.
I went on a press trip in Pennsylvania.
I remember that. And I
Yeah.
needed to ask you like which ones you went to that were good, because I
Hmm.
remember you said a few of them were like really good. And I feel
Yeah.
like guidance is definitely needed um, for that area.
Yeah.
Um, I will say I
Yeah.
lucked out. The first one that I went to was William Heritage, which I think is in Jersey, outside
Okay.
of Philly. And I enjoyed their wines. It was good.
Hmm.
And then on our way back to Philly, I saw a sign. I'm famous for this. We're driving, you see a little winery.
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
oh, wait, pull over there. Like, let's try this
Exactly.
place.
Yeah.
And it was a place that did fruit wine. And I was like, oh, there should be like
Mm.
sign on the door. Like there should be. And I was like, how did I get bamboozled this way? And it was the same way we went some other place in Delaware, that I was like, I don't
Mm. Do you follow Wine Casual, Reggie Solomon?
know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he's a phenomenal writer. He's extremely, extremely smart. Anyway, he went on the Pennsylvania press trip with me, and like mid-pandemic, the same organizer for that press trip organized another one for
Mhm.
New Jersey. So I have not heard back from him how that New Jersey wine tour went, but I'm so, so curious. He said they felt so safe and everything like went well, but I want to hear about how those wines
The
were.
wines were,
Yeah.
yeah. When I looked up and found William Heritage, I saw that there were a few wineries in Jersey that like have won like awards and stuff for their wine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious about that too. And
Yeah.
what parts of Jersey, like where, like what are the Jersey wine region? Like what
Yeah.
are the different areas? I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm actually, so I have a current obsession with urban wineries. Like I'm doing
Okay.
all this research. I think the business model is super interesting, and I'm
Sure.
curious about the quality
Mm-hmm.
of like urban wineries versus traditional like vineyards and wineries. But
Yeah.
I'm drinking this red from Mural City Cellars, which um is in Philly.
Oh, okay.
In Philly. And they just opened in January of this
And
year.
they're an urban winery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're in a
Nice.
garage in
Mhm.
The Kensington neighborhood. And yeah, and I interviewed them a little bit ago. And their story is interesting too. But I was like, so why? But they both worked in hospitality and all of these
Mm.
things like down in Miami. Then they came back to Philly and started the urban winery.
Wow.
Um, but it's interesting. They source their grapes from like within 300 miles around them, but
Mm-hmm.
they get a lot from like Northern Virginia wineries.
That's cool. I feel
Mhm.
like more people should do that. I don't really care where your grapes come from. As long as you make good wine, I don't really care. My first experience in I was in Oregon. Oregon has so many collaborative groups and so many urban wineries that you can just go from urban winery, like you can just bounce around to all of these wine bars, and they have so many wines that are from people's garage. So I organized this trip with my old coworkers, and I think it was called the Yellow Bus Tour. And it was literally a cheese bus. It was about a half the size of like a regular school bus, but they had this little cheese bus, and it was probably about six of us. And we just rode around to all of these wineries. We didn't go to vineyards, we just went to urban wineries, and we
Yeah.
pulled up at this dude's house. This
Oh,
dude's house, he comes in. I mean, he's a salt and pepper, tall, slim white guy. He's got ripped jeans, no shoes on. He's like, "Hey, welcome, welcome to my house." And his wines were so good.
oh,
They were fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic.
We
I
had the
feel like
whole
more people should
setup.
do that. Would you say?
He had the whole setup in his like garage.
Yeah, there was a driveway and there was a garage. It was all flat. And he just had bottles of wine set up, and he had glasses for us. We walked around. He had like a cute little yard in the front and
Yeah.
barrels and stuff. It was cute. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually really want to go back to Portland to
Oh
go
gosh, I
do a bunch
love
of research
Portland.
on Urban Winery. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went a few years ago, I didn't realize that it was a foodie place.
Girl.
I had no idea that we were there. And people were like, oh, you have to eat here, you have to do here. And like all the food trucks that have like the best food. I was like, oh,
Everything we ate was fantastic.
yeah,
Everything.
yeah, yeah. I definitely want to
Yeah.
go back. I definitely want to go back.
I told my husband, I was like, the next time I go back to Portland, I have to bring some Black people with me.
Oh,
Because you definitely don't see
they're not
any.
there. They're not. I think we saw, it was like me and three of my girlfriends. And I think other than us, we saw maybe two other Black people the whole time that we were there. And they were like in one of the restaurants that we were in.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what's even more weird is almost all of the places that we went to were playing very Black music. And when I say
Yes,
very Black,
yes,
I mean Tribe Called Quest, Biggie, like what?
yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Portland is definitely an interesting place.
It is.
And kind of, it's a very
Yeah.
interesting place. But I
Yeah.
definitely go back and not necessarily to go to Willamette, because we went to Willamette while we were there. And it was time we did some tours. But like you said, it's literally just to go to a bunch of the urban wineries.
Yep.
It'll be a good time.
So, do you think that our local wines, and when I say local wines, I'm thinking Maryland, Virginia, do you think they can compete with other wine regions? Say you're Washington, you're Oregon, you're California.
Yes. Yes. I think there are some winemakers I'm going to say in Virginia, and kind of like Black Anchor, because I got this a little bit from we were talking to them too, who are truly about the craft of winemaking and making quality wines.
Mm-hmm.
That you can tell they focus more on that than how cute their tasting room is, how many different varietals they make, or trying to make the wine of the moment. Like if they know that like everybody wants rosé right now, like making a rosé. Like it's people who are very focused on, this is what I know my land can produce.
Exactly.
These are the varietals that I know that I can make, and I want to make these well. And not to say that people who are getting creative, and I know that like UVA, like there are some winemakers that are working on hybrid grapes and all that other stuff. But I think that there are some people who are just focused on making very good wine of the traditional varietals that we all know. That, yeah, I definitely think that they can compete with other regions. White Spark from Casanel, when I first had it, it was me and Desiree. We had gone there, and Katie came out, and like we were tasting, she was explaining stuff to us, and I don't know what I was expecting, because I don't think and I'm still changing this. I don't think that Virginia is a place that can do sparkling wine. I just
Really.
So I really didn't back then. But when I
Mhm.
had her white spark from, I think it was vintage from like 2 years ago or something,
Mhm.
that thing tasted just like champagne.
Huh.
And I was shocked. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh my goodness. But to hear her talk about how she came about it and made it and how she was determined to like follow the traditional method and like doing all this other stuff and how pissed she was that the only reason it can't be called champagne was because it wasn't made in Champagne.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like she's intentional
Mm.
with a lot of their
Now
wine.
I have to taste this. I haven't had their bubbles.
Yeah. And see, I
Okay.
had somebody else's like sparkling Viognier. So
Mhm. It was bad?
it was bad.
Oh
But
no.
then there's also, oh, I can't remember the gentleman's name, who's actually from Champagne, who is in the Charlottesville area, helping a lot of wineries down there.
Oh, okay.
Wine, and then he also has his own line of sparkling wine that he makes. Begins with a T.
Hmm.
His sparkling wine is very good too. He also makes a Blanc Blanc.
Hmm.
Um, it's very good too. So I'm starting to change my thing about the sparkling piece. Um, I have had very good Viogniers from Virginia,
Mhm.
and Chardonnays.
Yeah.
It could
So
compete.
if they make good Chardonnays, then they should be able to make a good sparkling wine.
Should. But you know what it is? Again, it's people trying to get creative, right? So they're
Right.
not making sparkling wine with the Chardonnay. You're out here taking
Right.
this Viognier and
Yeah.
making it into a sparkling wine.
Yeah. And you're definitely right about people being more, they need to be more serious about providing that quality of wine that we would get in a California or, an Oregon. But, a lot of people just want to make some money.
Yep,
Winemaking and being in wine, making wine is expensive.
it is.
And they just want their profit. So if they can bottle up something sweet and something sparkly and something fruity, they gonna bottle this shit up and sell it.
And there are
You know?
people that are going to be there for it. And I guess my thing is like, do you want to be competitive on like the world stage?
Right.
If so, then there's some other decisions that you have to make. But
Right.
if your thing is like, I'm just trying to have this fun, feel good place,
Mm-hmm.
like this event space, give people a
Right.
beautiful experience and like have so wine, that's
Right.
the decision that you make and it's fine. But just know that like that
Yeah.
that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And don't expect to, and I think that some places are like that. They're not out here like trying to win awards for their wine.
Right. Exactly.
They're not.
Yep.
So, I
Yep.
don't.
Because Black Ankle, they made a sparkling this year.
Did they?
They only made a few cases though, like a few hundred cases. So it didn't get to a lot of us. Yeah, it didn't get to a lot of people, but I heard it was really good.
Ooh, I bet it
Yeah.
is. So they're
Yeah.
they Black Ankle is someone that I feel like they're focused on the quality
Yeah.
of their wines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and they make good wines.
Yeah.
Back out there, actually. I haven't been in a bit.
Yeah, I haven't been to a winery in a minute.
Where
Yeah.
was I just? Oh, I was just at Potomac Point for my birthday.
Mhm.
Cool, because they had the little wine tents. And we
Oh, okay, that's nice.
yeah, and it was cool. I feel like I went somewhere before that, but now I can't even remember. But
Hmm.
yeah, I feel like I'm ready to get outside. And
Yeah. I have not been to a wine bar yet. So I'm trying to figure out because
you
I've been to like rooftops and like restaurants like outside, but I haven't been to a wine bar yet. I've been really dying to go to one.
I just went to Maxwell Park.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They really expanded their
The Shaw?
outdoor stuff. The one in
Oh,
Shaw.
nice.
They really, because you only had that little patio that was right up.
Yeah.
But now they've got like parking sides on both. On what is that, Ninth and or whatever's right there.
Hmm.
There's a lot more seating outside now. I literally was just there. I'm like, I miss being able to like try different types of wine that I've had, whatever. And
Yeah.
so Maxwell Park is really good for that.
Yeah. So this portion of our show, we're just gonna ask you a handful of random questions. I'll answer them too. So the first one is, if you received $15,000, what would you do with it?
So I am going on a trip,
Mm. Mm-hmm.
like a bomb trip.
Yeah.
When I was taking my WSET class, I learned so much more about Italy and Italian
Mm.
wines.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've been drinking a lot more Italian wines and exploring,
Mm-hmm.
and I love it. So I think I would spend that money on some type of crazy wine trip to Italy.
Nice.
All
Absolutely.
every penny of that $15,000 will be
Yeah.
between getting there, staying in some good places, drinking and eating good, and then
Yeah.
bringing home a nice little collection.
That sounds awesome. That sounds great. What would I do? Oh, just for background. So we started with $1,000. And so every episode I've been adding $1,000 to that amount. So now we're up to the $15,000 mark. And I'm trying to figure out, what would I do? I think that I would probably maybe put a down payment on some sort of small space, whether it's like a small cabin or like a condo somewhere else near some water or something,
Yeah,
just to have that second location like available, you know. That would be nice.
that would be good. I
Yeah.
thought you were about to say a small space for your new kitchen studio or your cooking show. I thought that's what you were about to say, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this sounds good."
I feel like that would take a lot more money the way I would want it set up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That would be nice though. Did you know that Barefoot Contessa?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that her studio is actually on her property? That kitchen that she cooks from where the TV show airs,
Yeah.
that is another building like on her land, her and her husband's land. That's not
Wow.
her actual house. So they built a separate, almost like a separate house specifically for her to record.
Interesting. This is what you need. So
Girl.
I will say this, I'm all about scaling smart. So for
Mhm.
right now, you're good. Like, I see that you're outside more often. I see you're out, you got the little thing, you're talking about the wine and showing us the food or whatever. You got your little videos going. So you're fine for now. But as soon as Food Network calls, that's when
Child.
you gotta start figuring out where your cooking space is and
Mhm.
how to get your whole setup there.
You're right. You're right. When they call. Yep. When they
Manifesting this. They're gonna call soon.
You're right. You're right.
I'm gonna start tagging them in every last one. I'm gonna do it. I'll be
And
like,
the thing is, I'm open. It doesn't have to be Food Network. It can be BET. It can be TV One.
oh.
It can be Vice. You know,
I just
I'm
heard that
open.
there's this thing called Fox Soul.
You are kidding me. Are you?
No, but apparently I think it started. So it's like streaming for now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like a certain amount of program, like maybe 5 hours a day or something of programming. But Fox Soul, so we can also get you on there.
Wow. Wow. They are really reaching, huh?
There are
Fox
different
Soul.
options, or the way that Issa Rae is out here building this little YouTube
Listen, let me tell you something.
empire.
If I get an inkling that Issa is anywhere near me,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to stalk her.
She needs to and I feel like she has. I was just looking at something where she had some kind of little incubator and stuff for like creators,
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Like she
Mm-hmm.
needs to do that again. Keep doing that every year. Have different cohorts for different
Yeah.
little streaming shows. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, why
Yeah.
you in with HBO? Like
Just
HBO could
saying.
use a little wine
Yeah.
and cooking show.
I would love it. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Anybody needs a wine and cooking show. I feel like there's no network that has
There
one that really
isn't.
integrates it. Yeah.
There needs to be a whole network dedicated to wine and spirits,
Mm-hmm.
but there
Yeah.
isn't one. Yeah.
It definitely should be. Okay.
Yeah.
We're on this.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Now, this is a hard one. Missy or Pharrell? I chose the two Virginia natives
I
because you
know.
are from Virginia.
I know. And I feel like this is because they also represent kind of different periods of my life.
Yep. I didn't realize how close in age we were until your actual birthday.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I was young.
I thought you were younger. You just have a younger energy, younger than mine anyway. I was like, oh, this is a young girl. She's got to be in her early 30s.
Haven't seen my early 30s quite some time.
And you are 1 year younger than me. That's just crazy.
That's crazy. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn it. You know what? I'm going to go. Oh my gosh. It's like I'm struggling because to me, Pharrell is not just Pharrell as in like his music.
Yeah.
But the way that he's like impacted. But so has Missy though. Maybe not on as grand a scale. So I'm going to go with Missy.
Okay.
Because I did like right now, that's who I miss. If I'm like, somebody was like, who would you rather hear new music from? I want to hear like something new from Missy. Like I want Missy to be back out here. Pharrell can go out there, open his hotels, keep designing like his name, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was just listening to one of his albums the other day. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Missy.
Yeah.
But I do love them both.
I am actually gonna go with, this was hard for me too when I was writing this, but I'm going to go with Pharrell just because I am an insane fan of Nerd.
Okay.
So I was just like, that's the only thing that he has over Missy for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I've seen them both live. I actually would prefer Pharrell live over Missy. Now, Missy brings
a lot.
Missy's her show to me, because I saw her at Essence. Her show to me was everybody else's energy. Even though she was there, she was talking and everything, her dancers were the show.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was nostalgia because, you know, she's playing her music and then, you know, the dance routines to her music, but it wasn't what I expected. This is my first time seeing her. Okay. So I would take Pharrell.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. McDonald's or Wendy's?
So this is also very hard for me.
Is it really?
But I feel your judgment already.
You don't know where I'm going.
I feel your judgment already. I feel like I might know what this is going to be. Okay. So this is why. And I don't know if other people feel the same. I feel like there's like a hierarchy. I feel like the bouginess is like Wendy's is it. Like McDonald's feels more like, I don't know. But what I eat more of when I do eat it is McDonald's.
Okay.
So a fish sandwich and some fries and a Coke, good to go.
So you are a filet of fish girl.
I am a filet of fish with no cheese.
I would have never called that.
I and a little bit of like some extra tartar sauce, but I do enjoy Wendy's chicken sandwiches. To me, those are great. And it might just more be a function of we don't have that many Wendy's around here. But I'm gonna have to go with McDonald's.
Okay. I will drive past 5 McDonald's to get to Wendy's.
The way you said it, is it really?
I will. But you know what? It could be like my childhood. All we ate was McDonald's. It was all about going to McDonald's, getting the Happy Meal, getting the toys. And then as I grew older, it was all about the McDonald's fries. But Wendy's nuggets are bomb. And then they came out with the spicy nuggets.
I went out of my way to go find some of those spicy nuggets.
Yeah.
I went to that horrendous Wendy's off of New York Avenue.
Oh, no.
Dave Thomas Circle or whatever. I risked my life and went there to get those spicy nuggets. And they were good.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
very good.
Also, I am a dipper of the fry in the frosty.
Yes.
So
I didn't even think about yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That actually could like tip it over the top.
Yeah. I can get, and I don't even need a whole lot. I can get like a kid's meal with the nuggets, my fry, and a frosty instead of a drink. And I'm a happy girl.
Yeah, the fries and the frosty thing is like
Yeah.
there's not much that beats that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so another kind of food question. I just posted that we got this bomb ice cream truck that comes by here
I saw.
once a day. And it has soft serve, which I did not grow up with. So as bomb. So if an ice cream truck pulled up to you right now, what are you getting?
I am getting the bomb pop.
Bomb pop? Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's easy.
I love I love popsicles. So I still do but now as an adult, I will at least get the little fruit popsicles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. But those, like if I'm with like my nephew somewhere or something, or we're out and I can get one, definitely getting a bomb pop.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually that's one of my faves too. Today, I don't know why I'm in this mood, but I am in the mood for hot fries. I have not had hot fries in so long.
I love hot fries.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my stomach all the way up.
Girl.
I love them.
Yeah.
Do they even, I mean, I haven't been like in a 7-Eleven or like a convenience store in a while. They still sell them?
I haven't been to in a corner store in a minute. I mean, it's one right around the corner. I haven't seen them, but I haven't actively been looking for hot fries either. So
I'm gonna go look.
I'm not sure.
Because I'm also like, is there like a wine that would go good with those?
That's a very good question. That's a good question. Because they got a little kick. They got a little spice.
They do. I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it sounds like a night on the couch after work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Packing
and drinking.
Yep. All right. Do you like your burgers grilled or seared on the cast iron?
You know, this is how we know that you're a foodie. Because
what?
I'm like, I don't know. Just cook my burger.
Okay.
Whatever way that is done, this is probably gonna be bad. So I don't like a lot of pink in my burger.
Okay.
It's a texture issue for me.
Sure.
And so I'm like, however you gotta cook it to make sure that it's not dry, but it's not raw.
You don't care. Okay, got you.
I don't have a preference. So what is what's the
there is a difference in the texture, like, and usually when a burger is grilled, usually it has a smoky flavor to it, especially if you're grilling it on a charcoal grill versus a gas grill. Yeah. But some people, they have a good feeling when they can smell that smoke, smell the charcoal, and have that grilled burger. That's really important to them. Takes them to a place, right? But then you got the cast iron. When that cast iron is hot and the burger is seared, you get an extra layer of like that crunchy crust that's on the top from the fat of the burger. So it creates a layer of texture. So some people like
I think I would like the crunchiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I would put the crunchiness on a higher level than the smokiness.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. I actually like cast iron. I love cast iron burgers, actually. Yeah. Even if you, because I've even made Beyond Burgers with a cast iron, and it creates that same crust that you would on a real burger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna have me thinking about this the next time. I think my friends are cooking out this week too. I'm gonna be like, let me pay attention. So I think they're also making lamb chops, and like if there's any grill, like that's literally what I'm going for.
Yes, you get some bougie blacks. I love it. All right. So this is your last question. Name a song and a bottle you will pop on your 40th birthday.
I've been trying to figure this out. So I want to find, and I need to do research. I want to find a bottle of wine, like the vintage year is my birthday. That's will still be good to drink.
Okay.
On my birthday. I don't know really what that would be, but in the absolute, like if I can't figure that out, or if it's $1 million, like I'm really simple with sparkling wine.
Yeah.
I really enjoy sparkling wine. Another wine club that I'm a part of is Champagne Camp, because I really want to start experiencing not the champagne that we normally get here in the US, like some of the smaller producers. So I'm trying to like learn more about champagne and find some other ones. So I feel like, but I mean, I can also just do like Roederer or like any type of champagne or sparkling wine that has like the yeasty, like I will be good with, I wouldn't even be picky. Just need to pop that. The song, to be honest, I would want it to be something really ratchet. Because if my 40th birthday is any piece like my 39th, I'm going to need to feel some youth. I'm going to need to feel young. I'm going to need to, still feel connected. I don't got Meg's knees, but I want to feel like,
right. Yeah.
I want a song playing that can feel like, whatever. And I think a good in between of like, it's ratchet, but it's not really the young kids, but it has like a youthful feel, will be something from like 2 Chainz.
Okay. Got you.
Probably his little birthday song.
Oh, birthday. Okay.
Probably that, while I'm like popping the bottle and while I can like act like I got like Meg Thee Stallion knees for a second. I think I think I'll be satisfied. I think that'll work.
I like it. I love it. I actually play a lot of child, she's so problematic. But I played a lot of mulatto on my birthday.
I don't even know who that is.
What?
Oh my God.
Really? I'm surprised. It's trashy music, but her beats her beats are hot.
I'm gonna look this up.
Yeah.
Sounds like what I need. This sounds like what I need when I gotta work out and do some other stuff I don't want to do.
Yes. Yeah. She's good for it.
Okay. Mulatto?
Yeah. Spelled like it's that terrible name. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up. I'm always looking for some good. My boyfriend hates it when I'm out here acting like.
Yeah, same.
I'm 29 and not 39. And it's nothing that can be sustained, right? I can do it for like 5 minutes, and then I'm yeah. So I need to build up my little playlist for that.
Oh man, this was so fun. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course, it was so good to catch up with you, and I'm hoping that when the world opens back up, we can do like another little Friendsgiving again.
Oh, that was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I was so hungover the next day. My goodness, you guys can drink.
Solid hours of fellowshipping.
I mean, seriously, guys, we drank so much. We all brought wine. I don't know how many of us was there, but we all bought wine. We went through every bottle until Desiree was like, "Oh, I got more in the car." She comes up with 4 bottles.
4 bottles. And when I tell you at that point, I had been cleaning up. I was like, "Oh, I've been waiting for the wine to run out." Because I'm not kicking nobody out. But I was like, "Oh, well, the wine is running out."
Were you really?
Good. So I was like cleaning up. I was like, "Okay," because by then it had probably been like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, I'm trying to go down to my car. I've got more in the car. And I was like, what?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She came back up. It was such a good time though. And I definitely want to do it again. So I'm like, get these vaccines if that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
Let the world start opening back up. And yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely have to all get back together again.
Yeah, that was a really good time. Oh, before we go, please tell everybody where they can follow you.
Yes. Best place is on Instagram at Burger and Wines. That's where all the goods are. Actually, the same day today that this is airing, I am kicking off the paired newsletter again. Nice. So definitely make sure that you're subscribed. You can get it. We're doing barbecue and wine this month. And then for the rest of the month, we're going to kind of do show me your barbecue and wine pairing, and you can win a bottle of wine, which I think will be fun. But yeah, there's a sign up on the Instagram page for that too. And then it's so funny, I've said this so many times, but burgerandwines.com will be live again by the end of the month. And that'll have all the stuff from Black Wine Story Month. We did a Women's History Month thing, Wine Needs Women. So those stories and interviews as well. All that good stuff will be on the website.
Thanks for tuning into the Swirl Suite, guys. We hope you enjoy this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us some comments on Apple Podcasts. Hey, let us know what you think on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Send us an email. Have a beautiful week. Cheers.